Good morning, guys. Welcome to the shop. So I got to looking at this thing and I was thinking about flipping it over and going ahead and putting the Raptor liner on the inside. And I got to looking, sure would be easy right here if I went ahead and took care of this area on the back side of this firewall. So what I've done is I've syringed some Pour 15 down in this crack here. Well, I went through, sanded it, cleaned it up, acid etched it, then I put the Pour 15, went ahead and seam sealed. So now I'm getting ready to put this in epoxy primer as well as the outside firewall. And then once I've got 2 coats of the epoxy primer on there, what I'm going to do is put this Summit, let me show you, Summit Hot Rod Black, flat black, single stage. I'm going to put that here on the inside, on the bottom side of that cowl and the firewall. And that's what I'll use on the firewall inside the engine bay and the fenders, back side of the hood and the core support. So stay with me, and this shouldn't take long to knock out, so let's get her done. Alright guys, well there's that first coat. I think that turned out pretty well. This is actually the second coat on this part of the firewall. But I sanded it down and well, I hit it with 120 grit before I put this coat on it. Let's look at the inside and see how that turned out. Not bad. Down in here was the hardest part. I think I got it coated pretty well. I really don't care anything about runs, or as long as I get it on there in areas like this anyway. It's the most important thing to me. So yeah, it turned out pretty well. I'll probably go about where that cowl panel connects to that quarter panel. Right there is probably about as far as I'll go, and I'll start the Raptor liner from there and follow the seam around on the floor. I think that'll be pretty good. I just didn't want to be installing things on the firewall and it not fitting flush because the thickness or the texture of the Raptor liner. That's probably not an issue, but I didn't want to have to deal with it, so this is what I'm doing. Yeah, so let's give that about an hour and we'll come back and put the second coat on it. It's a beautiful day. All right. Okay guys, well there's the second coat of epoxy. I'm sorry I forgot to start the camera when I was spraying the inside. but I'll show it to you. Okay, there's the final coat of epoxy. It looks like a run, but I think it's a weld. Wouldn't matter either way. But yeah, that turned out pretty well. So I'll give that an hour to gas off, and then we'll top coat it, and we'll be done with the firewall. So we'll give that about 5 or 10 minutes to flash off, and then we'll come back and put the second coat on. Don't smell this, Robert. If you smell it, get out of the way. Other way.
It's not that bad.
Till you die.
Huh?
Till you die.
I think it's
I think there's some in there. Perfect amount of paint. That worked out perfectly. I just ran out. That's awesome. All right, so we're done with that. So next I'll let this cure a little bit, and then while I've got some guys over here, I may go ahead and flip this thing over so I can start working on the Raptor liner for the inside. So that'll be the next step. All right, guys. So there is the final coat of the Firewall. That's 2 coats of that Hot Rod Black from Summit. And I'll show you the inside as well. There we go. Alright, so I think what we'll do is end this one here, and the next one will start when I can get the guys over. We'll flip it, and then I'll be prepping this tub area to get the Raptor liner on it. So that'll be the next step. So thanks for coming by the shop. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.